Good morning, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium once again. And believe it or not, today's video is about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Who would have thought it? Why is it about Goldilocks and the Three Bears? I have no idea, except I have woken up the last 2 days hearing Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So I can do a parable about it, and that's about all I understand what it is. Most people don't know the real story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I wasn't sure how it ended either. I know the ending, but I don't know what happens after that. The post ending is kind of key to it all. What I think is a foretelling of the future. Uh, Basically, Goldilocks, you know, the name belies what it is. Goldilocks is not a sweet little child with golden curls. Goldilocks wanders through the woods, finds a house, basically breaks in. Just knocks on the door, no one answers. Opens the door, goes right in, starts eating, porridge. Didn't ask. So Goldilocks is a bully in this thing. Goldilocks is Russia, Mr. Putin, who just broke in a house. Basically, what he did. They won't mind. We're friends. We have the same cultural. No, they don't have the same cultural background. They're not the same people at all. Those next to Russia speak Russian. That's just natural. People in other countries who live, if we lived next to Italy, a bunch of us in Texas, we'd speak Italian. Anyway, Goldilocks breaks in, and the story advances real interestingly. This porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold. Papa Bear is too hot, Mama Bear is too cold. Baby Bear's is just right. Why did Putin pick on Ukraine, who he wrongly assumed was a baby bear? Easy to take, no problem. We're buddies. Hitler made the same mistake invading countries, saying we have the same language, therefore they won't mind. Putin's made the same mistake. No, we're buddies. We know each other. Ukraine's not a real country anyway. They used to be part of Russia, and now we want them back. As it turns out, Ukrainians think differently. Ukraine's been its own country for a long time. Anyway, the story advances in that Goldilocks eats Baby Bear's porridge because it's the easiest, or what he thought. Papa Bear too hot. Papa Bear is probably the United States. He's not going to mess with us too much, which means NATO country. So he's not going to attack a NATO country. Because all those NATO countries would attack him, there wouldn't be any Russia left. He knows this, or if he doesn't, there's something wrong with him. He doesn't attack Mama Bear, could be France or Germany or any other country with big guns. Could be Poland. I don't think so. But he doesn't attack Mama Bear and Baby Bear and Mother Bear. He attacks Baby Bear, a perceived weak country, which it is not. People are tough, as it turns out. So then they advance. The story goes, Goldilocks sits on Papa Bear's chair. This chair's too big, probably United States. Mama Bear's too big, any other country in NATO you want to pick. Baby Bear's chair is just right. She sits in it, she rocks, and she breaks it. Does she offer to fix it? Does she write a note, like in the parking lot, I hit your car? No. She just goes upstairs looking for a place to sleep since she's had some free porridge. Tries out Papa Bear's bed. Too hard. Again, probably the United States. Mama Bear's bed's too hard. Baby Bear's bed's just right. So he climbs it again. Ukraine, the perceived weak country, the baby bear. So the three bears come back and confront Goldilocks. Hey, which is the United States and Europe, any country you want to name, England, Germany, France, whatever, saying, what are you doing in Baby Bear's bed? And Goldilocks gets, what? What? You upset? Are you mad? I'm sleeping in bed. No, most people don't know the ending of Baby Bear, of the Goldilocks. The ending of Goldilocks and the Three Bears is Goldilocks jumps out a window and is never seen again. Doesn't It doesn't leave a forwarding address, no phone number, just wanders into the forest and is never seen again. That's probably Putin's fate. He has political enemies that are trying to bring him down even as we speak. He's really wrecked his own country. The oligarchs, yeah, people that actually run the country with the money, they've left the country. They've lost their land and money, and it's sort of like somebody eating their own, isn't it? Anyway, this is Goldilocks and Three Bears. I've been hearing it for the last 2 days, and I was talking to my wife about it. She couldn't figure what Goldilocks. It's got nothing to do with Ukraine. Ukraine is a country. What's going on? And I sat around working on something in a book and doing some work, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, they're attacking baby bears. Goldilocks is attacking baby bear. Why? Because not as in the story, the porridge is just right. It's not too hot or too cold. It's just right. Well, it's just right because their perceived weakness. Well, they've got a lot of our howitzers over there and Poland's tanks and airplanes and whatever. Britain's shipping them some stuff. I think Germany said they would, but haven't. I don't think yet. So it's if you're weak but you have good allies, you're probably going to be in good shape. Goldilocks messed up, knocked on the wrong door, in the wrong house at the wrong time, and thought Putin in disguise with golden curls is what I'm saying. He thought he would help himself to the porridge, which is what he wants, the oil rich areas and the area that grows all the wheat for Europe, and that's Ukraine. He thought nobody would mind. Here's some porridge, no one around. This one looks okay. He probably picked the smallest bowl, Baby Bear's bowl. This kid won't mind. I'll just eat his porridge. Anyway, the other side was right. It does fit into a fairy tale about Goldilocks, but no one ever remembers the ending. I don't remember the ending of it. I don't remember thinking that Goldilocks must have been apologetic. You know, the three bears come back and confront her, and she's like all apologetic. You know, I'm sorry, I tasted your porridge, because now they don't want to eat it. Goldilocks had his mouth on it. Goldilocks turned into a he all of a sudden. Vladimir sat in the chairs, broke Baby Bear's chair, thought no one would mind. It's a child. It's the small one in the house. No one will care. Turns out they do. Just like you think, and I'm hearing self-preservation. Poland and Estonia and all these other countries that are aligned with NATO that are independent countries now that used to be a part of Russia are now standing with Ukraine. Why? Because they have to. They have to. Who's next? What country's next? Moldavia? Probably. Weak country, small. Perhaps Poland. Russia's run through Poland at least a couple of times in history. And maybe didn't want to mess with them. Maybe they're going to get them to be an ally or something. I have no thinking on it. Except Poland's now giving equipment to Ukraine, not to Russia. So that tells you that Poland's not an ally of Russia. Poland's an ally as best it can be to NATO. And this may be picking the worst of two evils or something. Anytime you join a group, you're obligated. So, and even Poland, who's not a member of NATO, is giving things to Ukraine. Why? Self-preservation. So I said it a minute ago, they're saying it again. Because if they don't stop them now, there's no stopping them. They took over Ukraine. They'll be putting Ukrainians into suits that say Russia on them. They'll convert them really quickly, brainwash them, throw them on the front line, attack another country. Because he's run out of men, he's run out of steam, he's run out of tanks and everything else. He hasn't run out of will, which is kind of, um, he's beyond reason, I think. The latest story is that he's reasoning with the Ukrainians to get them to agree that Russia should be the national language of Ukraine. That shows a sign of, I don't say stupid, but being out of touch. He's attacking a country and trying to negotiate that country's language be Russian. They've got their own language. My wife speaks it around here all the time. I don't understand a word of it. So they got a perfectly good language. They don't need another one. So anyway, that's my story of Goldilocks and the three bears for today. And I look for any moment for Putin to have to jump out a window and go into the forest and never be heard from again, if he survives that long. It's amazing. Something. It happened in World War II. Happened in World War I. Country gets attacked. No one wants to get into this. But we've got a treaty. I don't really want to, we signed that treaty because it was beneficial to us. It made us look good on paper. We're united, blah, blah, blah. Turns out the first shot that's fired is the last time that group actually exists. No one wants to fight for you. Peanut says I've got to end this pretty quick. But in this case, post-World War stuff, they're joining together not because they love each other, because they don't. They probably like each other. Poland probably has a lot of relatives in Ukraine. My wife speaks Polish too. They're right there next to each other. They speak a lot of different languages there. So a lot of Polish people speak Russian. It's not in their best interest to be with Russia. It's in their best interest to stick with Ukraine. And they were sending stuff under the rug. They didn't want Russia to see they were sending supplies to Ukraine. They said, oh, no, we're not sending anything. Then they did. And someone reported it, as they will, because we have satellites every 3 feet in space, and you can't miss trucks hauling stuff to the border and handing it over to Ukrainians. You can't miss that. Self-preservation, not because they love them, but because they're probably going to be next. They're afraid that the equipment they give them, which is probably Russian, will be taken back over by Russians and then used against them. So you can understand why Poland wouldn't send stuff without being able to replace it. And I doubt that they will, because a lot of the stuff they buy is from Russia. It's strange to have a country next to you that you have a lot of animosity with, to let them buy equipment from you that they can shoot you with. The world's a strange place. And strange bedfellows, like Goldilocks. Broke in the wrong house in the woods and was never seen from again. I hope I've entertained you. Whew. This is winging it. These videos is crazy stuff. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's see. A lot of new stuff coming up. A lot of free stuff coming up. January 19th. No, June 19th. Free readings. These are all at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, USA. I'd like to change that, but there's nothing else to move to that's any better than that. So June 19th, free readings. July 3rd, free healing, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, USA. July 17th, free readings. August the 7th, free healing. August the 21st, free readings. And now it changes. Go back up, July the 24th. I'm offering a class called Improving Your Intuition. And it's got 75 different things to it. It's pretty complicated. And I wrote the class to give you an idea of, and everybody's might be different, but there's a few ways of accessing your intuition and getting positive results. And there's at least three different attempts at that within the group to find the one that fits you best, where you can access your intuition. You can ask a question, and the correct answer should pop out without. Anyway, it's a long class, 75 parts. It should go a long time, but it's going to be a fun class because I can't tell you about it. Anyway, so that's my new class, July 24th, Improving Your Intuition. August the 28th, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, USA, Manifesting. Well, I gave it before, I'm giving it again. How to manifest things in your life. People have things and people who don't have things. And the difference between them is those people who know how to manifest usually end up with a lot of nice stuff. Although people can be manifested too. If you're alone, you manifest correctly in the correct manner, you can bring somebody to you. Interesting. I did it. So, interesting, huh? September 25th, the old self-healing class again, how to heal yourself. And I've written a lot of new stuff for it. So, July 24th, improving your intuition. It's not making you a psychic medium, but everybody has intuition. This is how you access it to make it work for you, to be accurate in your intuition instead of just willy-nilly, or as I say, Willie Nelson. August the 28th, Manifesting, September 25th, Self-Healing. All these classes are available on my website, www.garychampion.com. I gave the self-healing class a couple of times last year. It was real successful. I had a lot of people in it. It shows you how to turn your hands on, your ability to heal yourself, and the energy flows through you. Or you can have it flow from some other place, but generally I let it flow through me. I like the way it feels. And it can heal you as well. And so that's how to heal yourself, really, but it's applicable to healing other people. And time and distance don't make any difference. You can do it by Skype, which I do most of the time. People come by. People bring their dogs by with problems. I have a dog a couple of months ago. I got a dog, I think, this next week. Pugsley. So it's a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of free healings, a lot of free readings. And though the classes on manifesting, self-healing, those are paid classes, and you get them on the classes page at GaryChampion.com. Probably a longer video than it needed to be, but I felt obligated, having woken up with Goldilocks in my head. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being there. You're the best group of people I've ever known, and you always bring me up when we do these events. I always feel great. So thank you a lot. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for stopping by.